Okay. Sorry about that loud thud, by the way. I don't know if that was the door or the window. The door is contentions.
There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it hasn't been him.
What the fuck is that flower? My god, the stem is so long for that. It's fake. It gotta be fake. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers, with fares totaling 20 pence. 20? Wait, 20 pence? He stuck the chap next to him like this! Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. Be careful where you point that knife and stab it, because the woman right here, could have been hit. I have simply tightly collated all the statements made thus far. Now draw on a logical conclusion.
You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years.
The scoundrel stabbing the poor man on the floor! It beggars belief! I think I know what to do. I just remember what I just did before. I'm sorry to wish I hadn't pushed this for this now. Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments though, do they? Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I'll have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language. Just a moment, Mr. Naruto. We can't be persuasive, I guess. According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Oh, how did you read my mind? I thought I was going to have to thaw out their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant. That's what the actual lawyers do, by the way, in real life. They do try to use sympathy, but most other prosecutors use logic and fact, by the way. Unfortunately, when there's no logic and fact with the defense's case, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says. But then they've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become. Then what on earth am I supposed to do? Oh dear. I'm just citing what I've read about the British law, Mrs. Naruto. Don't yell at her, Ryunosuke! Don't do it! She's just a kid! Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea what to make this work then? Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments. What do you mean? Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they're complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together. Oh, that's true with the real life. And that's the way to break them down, you mean? Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says. New mechanic of the game. So, I'm not going to explain it because Susato does a good explanation of how this is how it's supposed to work. And see if we can identify the contradictory statements. If we can't, we then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other. I see, so it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination. Precisely, Ryunosuke. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right. Just like a cross-examination, but instead of presenting evidence to prove how wrong their logical thinking is, we use other people's statements to prove our point. Pretty good, honestly. I really do like this kind of thing. Find contradictions in their statement and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Alright. I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I might is not the word. I have to pull this off. Exactly. Do I love this? For those who are veterans of Phoenix Wright or Ace Attorney games, it's that saying. It's not like I need to do this, or like I might do this, or I should do this. I should do this. It's not that. I love the phrase "I have to do this" rather than "oh I need to do this" or else I have, like it makes it urgent and mandatory. I really like doing that. I really like using that phrase when it comes to real life because it gets me motivated to do more stuff. Like it's not like oh I kind of have to do, like I kind of like I need to I must I might stream today or I might record today. I say no, I have to do this today because that way it makes it feel like I can put more energy into it. So
Can we start? Can we start the proceeding, console? Can you stop talking about yourself, Ricky? Please continue with the game. I want to ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal.
yes, my lord. It's not the question if I can or can't. It's that I have to. Like that's what I like from the like the that meet the whole phrase from all the games because it does appear a lot. The defense is rebuttal. By the way, okay, so now just like any cross-examination, we can check all the statements of these 6 jurors and what they have to say, and in each one of them, we can just press on them, as I do it here on this one. Certainly, the testimonies we've heard suggest the victim, Mr. McGilded, were alone inside the carriage. Sometimes pressing them gets more insight and more information that you need from the jurors, but also it does bring up important points to figuring out what actually happened during the crime scene. So it really is a good mechanic that they involve it, because it makes it feel like you actually really are a lawyer, or more like not a lawyer, but more like trying to figure things out rather than just waiting for the story to just tell you what happened.
Precisely my point.
But could there be some other explanation? Something we haven't considered yet?
Such as?
Ryunosuke, really? I was talking about how they can just stuff like, oh, you can figure out what happened. Meanwhile, you do pull this stunt? Oh god, you're proving me wrong now. You're embarrassing me. What the hell? Well, perhaps that's something we could all work out together now.
Now listen here. Maybe you don't know how things work here because you're from foreign climes. We're here to form our opinion as individuals, and I have.
Oh dear. He doesn't appear to be in the mood of considering the alternative point of view, does he? No, I'm going to have to pit the jurors against one another, like Mr. Sato-san said. So, finding contradictions in these 6 people's assertions is the only way I'm going to succeed. By the way, the first time I played this before, I couldn't, for the life of me, get it. I don't know why. It just struggled. But sometimes when you press on them, you can tell on who you are able to either change their minds or you can't. So it's really important to press on these. But if you kind of know a bit, like have some little logic of like, oh, this person might be contradicting with this person or something like that, go do it right away. You don't always have to press on that. I just want to show off how every dialogue if I can. But this ability to recall his takings that night really tell us how trustworthy the man is. I manage all his lordship's cash affairs, so I'm very particular when it comes to accounts. I see. A single penny can mean a difference between life and death. After all, can it? You're right about that, because he really needed an extra penny for make sure he did die, huh? That's a saying in your country. My point is, a man who minds his figures is a man you can trust. Those of us in service would swear to that, sir. Sorry. Does that bench really need any more polishing? Exactly. Like, what? Did she just spit on it? Like, is there spit on it? That's why she keeps cleaning. He was like, oh shit, I spit when I talk, just like me. Say it, don't spray. God. So if the good driver says that he saw Mr. McGilden in the act, I don't doubt him. The only task left to do today is the disposing of the rubbish. Ah, now wait a minute. One of the other jurors mentioned something about money, I think. Exactly. That's why if you press on them, you might be able to figure out who we can change their minds. Now would be a very good time to listen carefully to the jurors' statements again, Mr. Naruto. Yep. I will remember that. If you notice the inconsistency in what two different jurors are saying, I should expose it by pitting them against each other. Yes. Let's see if I can do that. If I could use just that. All right. Let's do that. By the way, I'm so sorry if I got distracted a bit there because I just saw a notification. I was like, "What is it?" Like, apparently, someone liked a reel, or TikTok video I posted. So, yay! I'm happy I get recognition. Olé! Validation. Let's go. He stuck the chap like this. Careful. Exactly. That's what I've been saying. You could hurt somebody with that. You're a fine one to talk. What of a sword hanging from your waist, hmm? No, it's not real. It's fake. I swear. No. That's just my battered soul. Well, Kazuma's battered soul, I guess. Well, anyway, I despise anyone with too much money. They're all the same, all stabbing some brickmaker or other behind the scenes. You mock my words.
Objection.
That seems very unlikely, doesn't it? Are you mad, man? We know that the small shorty is a rotten Shylock. Well, yes, that does seem to be the case, but Mr. Naruto, please, be careful what you say. If he's been trying to squeeze money out of us less fortunate, you look rich to me, guy. I don't know if you're less fortunate. Then as far as I'm concerned, he's a guilty assassin. The man can hang. Come to think of it, didn't one of the other jurors have something to say about the defendant's underhand activities? If you thought of something, Mr. Naruto, don't let it go. Test your theory. Pit the two jurors whose statements seem to be contradictory against each other. No time like a president to press them. Yep. The game is trying to tell us to pit them. We're gonna do that later because I know who to pick, by the way.
Hold it!
Anyways, your turn. What have you been doing all this time? What have you been doing all this time till you got there? I should have thought it was obvious. I didn't. If you're working like this, you should be working, not being part of the jury, by the way. Those telegraphicers, whatever it's called. Telemarketer? No, I don't know. I'm recording everything that takes place as a part of these proceedings. And what have you learned from that? For example, at this moment in time, the judge has used the gavel 11 times in total. And the prosecution has snorted deviously at your remarks 7 times in total. He's like, yeah, right. And I might add, each time you have gawked like that, a simpleton. Thank you. And what's the point exactly? Well, she's gotta know. I guess this juror is really. I would probably want this juror to be like all the time a juror because they keep track regardless. So, anyways, madam, are you able to explain why you think the defendant is guilty? This is a conclusion I have drawn as a result of the copious notes I have typed. She's typing her own words too. Clearly, but I'm asking you to explain why you've drawn that conclusion. Please don't distract me. It makes me extremely hard to concentrate on my note-keeping. This is going to nowhere. Yeah, looks like we're not going to be able to persuade her, I guess. Or pit her. Anyways, your turn. That's how much it costs to take an omnibus?
That's right. As a guild master, I decided to set policy for all drivers across the city. One fare, no matter which bus you take or how far you're going. We have to compete with the rise of the motor car, you see. Us coachmen have to make a stand together.
Well, I guess the cars are starting to exist. Motor cars, you say, in this century. I mean, I heard that this century is taking place the 19th and 20th, or the 18th and 19th? 1920. I think it's 1920. The century, not the year. Not saying 1920 as the year. 19th century, 20th century. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. And this number of one or four buses, of our buses, is extremely damaging to our cars. It's beyond the pale. Only to decline the passengers. You mark my words, and it's all that rascal's fault. He has to pay. But he pays me money. I probably will say innocent if he does. Just letting you know, Bigilded. If you want to give me, I don't know, $1 million guinea, you could right now, and I'll give innocent right away. Just letting you know. Shut up.
Is it the crime or his buses he's more worried about?
Anyway, every member of my guild is reliable and trustworthy. So if the driver says he saw him do it, that fell in the dark is as guilty as a sin.
I guess.
No, my cat, it's my turn now. Oh, please press on me.
Yeah, pause. What the fuck, Ricky? Okay. I really think you should not say that, Ricky, either. But stop waving that ladle around.
You heard what the guard and coachman said before, didn't you? That hideous man stabbed the poor fellow just like this!
Yes, and that's what he said at your side. You're right.
Oh, my Gilded Park is such a lovely little place too. I've always enjoyed resting my feet there while I get on with my meeting.
Sorry. Oh my god, you stumbled in words right there.
And I had thought that anyone who donated to such a good, delighted place must be a fine fellow indeed.
Did you just donate the whole thing, or what's up?
I suppose I was wrong. Oh well. Whoever would have thought he was a miserable, murdering moneylender with not a scrap of remorse?
Oh, help! She's so unsure as she can be with that the guy's guilty. Well, lady certainly seems to have know her mind, doesn't she? Now that we're all done collecting information, now it's time to work my magic, also known as being able to play this game before I know what to do. Wait! So, we just need to find two jurors with the contradictory statements and pit them against each other. Which is much easier said than done. Is that perhaps what you were just thinking? How did you know? Sorry, Mike. Users and earphone people. Well, I took the liberty of doing some research in case you happen to find yourself in such a situation. I just think she can just read. Shall I read you and what I found out? It's a little long, but I'm afraid. I think we're good. Not right now. Because, okay, if I do this right now, she'll just give us the tutorial, basically, what to do and everything. Rather, since I played the game before, I could just show you. Not right now. If I have to rely on the advice right from the start, how will I get on later? No. No. I need to work this out for myself now. Oh my god, is that perhaps what you were thinking? How did you know? Well, that sort of attitude is most admirable, Miss Naruto. I know what I have to do. Let's listen to those assertions one more time. I love Susato. She's like she's just such a well-made character, but funny as hell too. She has both sides, whether it be refined, elegant, but has a funny side to her. I really love that. But anyways, One thing I will say, noted out, now that we heard most of him, notice that this one I will give out. Oh, actually, one I will give out. One I have noticed, more like it. This guy has said that the guy was stabbed. He said other information, but he said the guy has been stabbed like this. But when to the side. But when it comes to the old lady, she claims that the guy got stabbed from the front like this. So stabbing the poor man. Actually, they showed examples right there. So how you pit it, pick the character that you want to pick to pit, and with the other character, with these, and you go left and right, you can decide wherever the light pops up, that's who the person you're trying to pit them with. And you already pit to selected the old lady, like if you have with me, or selected this guy instead. You find out who they contradict. He stuck the chap next to him just like this, and the old lady says that's stabbing that poor man on the floor like this. But as we figured out, a little contradiction. When he says to stab the guy like this, it's when he was sitting up. But with the old lady, she claims that the guy was already down on the floor and stabbed him like an upward position. So that's the contradiction right here. Objection with these people. Those two statements are completely contradictory.
What? Explain, console. Post haste.
Oh, dearie me. I was only knitting a jumper for my other half.
Who's the other half?
What is this? All of this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you?
Oh, you are poor. I guess. I don't know. We've heard more. I love it when this happens. When the music pops up and just how he walks when he's thinking. We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3.
What? Can't you see that I'm busy?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it?
Ha! Want to test me? Do you? Like this! Stuck to the felt next to it without even getting up. Just like a prim baker said. Yes. That was Mr. Fireplace. That's only quite true.
Now then, juror number 6.
Oh, is that me, is it? Well, I can't count really. What can I do for you, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, dear, as far as I can understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he collapsed onto the floor. The coachman said so.
Now don't move. Take a look at these two jurors.
Why am I pointing? Make it seem like I am part of the case right here. I fucking pointed too. I made the same position as you, no skill.
Alright, calm down. Alright. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor.
Well, I am never. They're stabbing in a totally different directions. What?
Oh, bless my stitches. What a muddle.
What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh,
but why? Why the dickens could they lie?
I don't know that yet, but what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen? In all good conscience?
lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies.
Ooh, this music. Do, 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 do.
The skills.
I don't believe it.
I forgot his voice again. Holy shit.
Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on all of us.
Okay, racist motherfucker. Jesus Christ. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this?
Answer me this, Doc Jinx.
Me?
What exactly is this problem? Would of it, if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events?
What of it?
Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he sat next to him on the omnibus. And the young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor. And then the Shylock stabbed him again. And this old lady saw him do it. Well, would you say it didn't happen like that,
Who are you calling a dandy, son? Why? I should take this knife to you. Bailiff? We don't want that.
Who are you calling old? Why? I should just take this nail to you.
Okay, we need protection for this guy, holy shit. But he did prove a point, regardless. They're ready to kill each other now. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see the two different moments of the same crime? Let's see. Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the crime? It's possible. No, it's out of the question. Because here's the thing. If he did see it, how? How did he... The guy, Bruce, and the other guy did see him kill the guy. Stab because they're looking down. But what about the bus driver? The omnibus driver? Of course not. It's out of the question. We have to keep pushing forward. I know I should do that one too, but I feel like it's better to push forward rather than just finding funny dialogue. I don't think it's anything. I think he will just say, I don't know, like it's like he thinks to himself, is it possible? Blah 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 blah, and then Susato would have some stuff to say to steer you to the right direction, regardless. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman.
What is it? What is it, you dark ding-dings? Come on, out with it.
What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question.
What? What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job.
So am I.
As a foreman of the jury, I have the responsibility to steer everyone to the right direction. So, where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me your proof.
It looks like the only way I can convince him is to present him with something that he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. Alright. As you wish.
What?
I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the crime scene, as proven by... Well, if we look at the autopsy report, he got stabbed at the abdomen, but never says that stabbed once. He says that they saw the guy... The guy's claiming that it happened twice. That the bus driver and Bruce saw two different stabbings. But if we look at the photograph, there's only been one stab and the knife has been stuck right here. You could argue to say, well, maybe he was stabbed twice in the same location. But we clearly know that in the autopsy report, he was stabbed once in the abdomen, never twice. So there's no two different times of the crime that happened. So we should pretend this. This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen only once.
Only once? Can we even believe these guys? I mean, they're probably corrupted too.
It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means that these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Alright, I concede defeat! Wow, got 2 out of the 6 people. But was that even enough? Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhito! You did it! If we can manage to change the 2 jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue. 2 more? Actually, there is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions. And that's where you must strike next. So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show there's another contradiction in their assertions. Exactly! You can do it!
Well, the salaries of judges, the scholars of judges have shifted, but they still weigh heavier on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination.
Alright, so now that we got this guy, we got the 2 people now out of the way. As you see, they're both innocent, so we can't really press on them or do anything about it. So what we do know is a bit of this. From process of elimination, we kind of saw that this guy, regardless, doesn't seem like he's willing to change his mind at any point, so we can't really pit on him. However, I trust the driver. He was the excellent memory. It seems the 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. But this guy said something else with the money. That there was, says that he gave the actual amount of money. I forgot how much it was, but I think that regardless, him and her are the people that we need to put their. Oh yeah, he's right. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years, as you saw there. In a collective memory, it seems the passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. So that right there is a contradiction because he says prices above 4 pence for years. How much an omnibus is for a person is 4 pence, but someone paid 20 pence. That's an outrage because if someone's getting paid, if someone's has to pay more, then this is a huge contradiction right here.
Objection.
Showing that the omnibus driver shouldn't be trusted with his statements. Those 2 statements clearly contradict with each other.
Hello, explain yourself, Counsel.
Me? Oh dear, what have I said?
I swear, on several places, name and name, I haven't had the first idea what you're talking about.
According to the group of testimony we've heard so far, there are 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Bepples, he took 20 pence in fares. Quite alright. I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me. And juror number 5 told us the following. The fare of the omnibus is always 4 pence.
That is right, that it is. A fare of a convenient single price. Just the way London's carriages should be operated.
But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts.
Why, man, why?
4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication, he's a jinx. He can do math. He's a witch. No, I was kidding. It would have been 60 pence. Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare.
1 person's fare?
Yes. In other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible that there was another passenger we've heard nothing about.
Oh, gracious. This can't be right. The watchmen of the guild are good, honest men, and one and all, trustworthiness is our watchword.
figures of the coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good grace, good sir, is a fallacy.
I beg your pardon.
Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he let this nefarious character ride his omnibus.
Alrighty then. How do I make it so that this miserable trial doesn't end?
She's like, let me see. Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire onto this innocent side of the set of skills. Scales.
No, hold your horses, coachman. We were all in agreement, and so wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo.
I forgot his voice. Holy shit. Or maybe I can't do his voice anymore. I don't know. It's been a while.
This is very irritating.
Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same. Hell yeah, the trial keeps going.
For the love of Mike, not you as well.
A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards of financial matters.
Oh really?
I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again.
Like, I did it?
Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty? We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won.
What are you praying at? You dandy fool!
Shut your trap, sir! No one deceives me.
Well, we had a conscience. Consensus.
I said shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this voracious sharp blade and shave every last hair of his head. Please tell me he's a barber.
Well, not quite a remarkable turn of events. The defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate. And the trial must continue.
We did it. We actually did it.
I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and the witnesses to return to their places.
The prosecution didn't even move.
And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. So, Lord Von Six, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution if you please.
And he takes his time filling his Gatorade chalice right here. The red one, of course. What is he doing? Oh! Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hollow chalice, it may seem crash to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy.
Lord Von Six.
Is it cold in here? Or is it just me? As your antiquated tome no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during the summation examination. So I honor the deathly silence and listen to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Ooh, they calling you dumb. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth. It would seem. No. And why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Ooh, it's serious. No more cape. No capes at all. Bring forth the witnesses once more. Someone is lying here. Witnesses. I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure.
Oh, yes, sir. That I did, sir.
Of course I heard it. Of course I heard it. Oh yes, sir, I heard it. You, sir, on the end, the coachman, I believe it's Beppo.
Yes, sir, my lord, sir.
If it transpires that you have, in your previous testimony, you attempted to veil the presence of a fit passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir.
Oh, mio Dio.
Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination.
Witnesses' testimony. Various misgivings.